What is up, guys and horror fans? Welcome back to my channel. This is OCD Movie Reviews. My name is On the Brain Cat, and we have another horror director debut that has came out. Man, this is a year for that. Today I'm going to review the latest Australian coming-of-age entity film, and that film is Leviticus. This is a debut by Adrian Chiarella, hopefully I said his name right, and this movie stars Joe Bird and Stacy Clausen. Two gay teenage boys must escape a violent entity that takes the form of the person they desire most, each other. So we got the latest new entity original horror film. Now I'm hearing good things about this movie. And, you know, Australian horror films, they've been doing really well, like Talk to Me that came out a couple of years ago and Bring Her Back. So we got the latest small little horror film that came out, and I went to this movie not knowing what to expect. I really do like the synopsis. I went to this movie very blind, not knowing anything about it except for the synopsis. I know Joe Bird is in this film, who is in Talk to Me, so him taking on another lead in a horror film. So I was really curious to see how this film turns out, and as a small little indie horror film, I think this is an excellent directorial debut once again in the horror genre. Absolutely my biggest positive when it comes to Leviticus is absolutely the chemistry between Joe Bird and Stacy Clausen. Them two together, you felt believed with their chemistry, their romance in the film. It felt natural, it felt realistic in the film, it didn't feel corny. Every single time them two are together, you really like them two together in this film. So when this entity comes along, where it takes the form of each other, which I think is a very original concept they brought into this film, you really feel scared for these boys. You really feel sorry for these boys, and you don't know which guy to trust. Either it's the entity or the real person, and I thought that aspect is really well done in the film. And just the overall concept, you know, we have a lot of entity films that we've seen a lot in horror films, but with the concept of, like, the entity being who the person desires most, I think that's a very interesting concept, and they really explore this concept really freaking well. And the horror aspects of the film is also very effective in the film. It didn't feel forced. There's no, like, jump scare forced in the film. There are some really effective horror scenes in the film, and I think Adrian does a really good job directing this movie, especially when it comes to the overall look of the film, the location of the film, and just the entire atmosphere of the film of religion and pride. The whole subject about that is very explored in the film, and it's in this town that is very highly religious and doesn't believe in the gay stuff. And I thought that adds a really intense and unique flair to this film as well with that subject. So it makes this film more intense than it needs to be, and I think the way it builds up to that, it's really well done in this film. And when the story comes along, where the entity comes along, the story gets more intense. You don't know what the hell is going on, and you don't know exactly what's going to happen to this couple in the film, that you do really feel very invested. You want to know what is going on within the characters of the film. And like I said, I thought Adrian does a really good job directing this film for his first feature film. Definitely a very small start, but for a little small indie film, I feel Leviticus does a really good job of getting you into the concept. But is this movie on par with, like, Backrooms or Obsession especially? Absolutely not. There are some flaws when it comes to this movie. I would say this film takes a little bit of a while to get going for me. I know it's setting up this couple, I know it's setting up this whole religion world, this small town, and it's really cool that this movie is actually filmed literally 30 minutes away from me. This movie is filmed in Victoria. There are some areas I do recognize, which is really cool, but the film definitely has a slow build up, and it definitely takes a while to get going within the main plot of the film. I would also say the ending of this film, it's one of those endings that I kind of expected the ending to go that route, and it kind of didn't. And I felt like the film would have been better if it goes with this type of ending. If you watch this film, you know what I'm talking about, what I'm probably thinking. I'm like, I would love the ending to be like this fucked up. But it goes in a different direction, which it doesn't make me mad or anything. I was like, okay, it goes the way I was not expecting. That's totally fine. But I can kind of picture this ending in my head going, okay, this would have made the movie really tragic, much more heartbreaking throughout the film. Because a lot of people say this film is very heartbreaking. I would say it's not as heartbreaking as I expect it to be. It's heartbreaking because of the concept with these two guys and their love for each other with this entity coming. That's the heartbreaking aspect of the film that I thought was very effective. But yeah, I feel like I can picture this ending to be a lot more heartbreaking than it actually is. But other than that, guys, overall, Leviticus, for a small little indie horror film, I think Adrian Chiarella does a really good job directing this film overall. I think this is a very original, small effective horror film. I think Joe Bird and Stacy Clausen have an excellent chemistry with one another. When this entity comes along, you feel very scared for them too. You feel very intense with their relationship in the film. The whole subject of religion and pride is also explored really well done in this film. It's very intense. It gets creepy at times. It does take a little bit of a while to get going, and I do think the ending could have been a little bit better for me. But I thought Leviticus overall, for a small little film, I think this film is very effective. It's very well done, and I think a lot of people should give this movie praise. I would say Leviticus. I wouldn't say go out and rush and see this film, but absolutely check it out. So guys, that is my review for Leviticus. Let me know what you think of this film in the comments below. Do you like the film, hate the film, or you thought it's okay? Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Keep in contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notify for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day.